10 and 20 million immigrants
Can you
took
shut
up the
up?
housing stock of working Americans, and can you maintain some level of dignity?
Gentlelady's time has expired.
Secretary Bessent, will you be the voice of reason in the administration and urge Trump to stop waging a war on American consumers and on housing or affordability and putting the economy at risk? Yes or no? You don't have to explain.
Representative Waters,
Will you be the voice?
Will
you be the voice?
Will you be the voice
of inflation? Will you be the voice of reason? Will you be the voice of reason?
A study
yes
from
no?
Wharton University
Reclaiming my
has
time.
shown
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
Was the mass unfettered immigration
Mr. Chair, will you let him know that when I ask him
time does belong to
the
the
housing
gentlewoman
stock.
from California.
This was hands down the most devastating congressional comeback of the year. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent didn't just defend himself against Maxine Waters. He turned the tables and delivered a masterclass takedown that left her completely speechless. What Waters thought was going to be a slick gotcha interrogation about tariffs backfired in spectacular fashion. Bessent hit back with irrefutable Federal Reserve data, exposed the real driver of America's housing crisis with one brutal immigration statistic, and forced Waters to desperately reclaim her time when she realized the whole thing was slipping away. This wasn't a hearing. This was political combat at its finest. And it shows exactly why Bessent is Trump's secret weapon. Waters rolled in armed with gotcha questions. She left with egg all over her face. Stick around, we're breaking down every jaw-dropping second of this explosive exchange. And if you're here for the raw, no-spin truth from Capitol Hill, smash that subscribe button right now so you never miss the next one.
Chair Bessent, in the FSOC annual report, you stressed the importance of economic growth to promote financial stability. While you noted many ways you plan to deregulate Wall Street and plant the seeds for another crisis, you said little about the harms of inflation. I find this odd as the president and you have finally began discussing in the media how the price of goods are way too high. Notably, you mentioned that tariffs may need to come down to lower costs for Americans. So I have a few questions about this. As a former hedge fund manager in 2004, and I don't want you to go into any long details about this, but did you write a letter to investors raising concerns about the impact of tariffs, writing that, quote, tariffs are inflationary? Did you say that at that time, yes or no?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have a New York Times article that, agrees that you said
New York
that.
Times.
Then last summer, when you testified before a Senate committee, you said, and I quote, "There is no inflation. Tariffs are not being passed on to consumers." You were quite definitive and even claimed that critics had, quote, "tariff derangement syndrome." Well, those comments are at odds with the statement you made to investors that tariffs are inflationary. Again, I want to be clear, so just let me ask you, are tariffs inflationary, yes or no?
According to the San Francisco Federal Reserve, with 150 years of data,
Yes or no?
Tariffs do not cause inflation. San Francisco Federal
Well, last
Reserve,
November, as the
Congresswoman,
Trump administration finally began to realize
150 years
that
of data.
affordability issues in America are not a hoax, you told Fox News that the government was going to reduce tariffs on goods like coffee and bananas, and that doing so would, quote, bring the prices down very quickly. Mr. Secretary, why was that announcement even necessary? If tariffs aren't inflationary, and as you and the president like to say, are paid for by foreign countries, by the foreign country, a tariff on coffee or bananas shouldn't raise the price of either for American consumers. Well, that's the Trump logic, but that isn't reality. It did raise prices across the board, and you know it. I think you knew back in July also. The real question is, why would you even impose a tariff on a good that a country doesn't grow or make, as that would only serve to punish the American consumer? Now, as you know, this committee has taken a bipartisan approach to addressing another real affordability crisis. Housing. Rents are too high. There aren't enough houses. However, one clear reason that the housing crisis has grown worse is that you and the rest of the Trump administration levied tariffs on housing production goods like lumber and steel, as well as appliances. These tariffs will result in half.
Lumber is
Reclaiming my time. You don't get to talk.
Lumber is at a
Reclaiming my
5-year
time.
low, Congresswoman.
Reclaiming my time.
Let's just have the facts, ma'am.
Reclaiming my time. Thank you. However, one clear reason that the housing crisis is going worse is that you and the rest of the Trump administration levied tariffs on housing production goods like lumber and steel, as I said, as well as appliances. These tariffs will result in 500,000 fewer homes built at a time when we need more homes built, not less. Trump single-handedly made housing more expensive. And once again, you know it, as Axios has reported that you were planning to lift tariffs on housing production goods. In addition, the unlawful campaign the Trump administration has waged with ICE and Border Patrol, terrorizing American communities, has also harmed home construction across America. So I ask you, Secretary Bessent, will you be the voice of reason in the administration and urge Trump to stop waging a war on American consumers and on housing or affordability and putting the economy at risk? Yes or no? You don't have to explain.
Representative Waters,
Will you be the voice?
Will you be the voice?
Will you be the voice?
Of inflation,
will you be the voice of reason?
And
will you be the voice of reason?
A study
yes
from
no?
Wharton University
Reclaiming my
has
time.
shown
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
Was a mass
reclaiming my
unfettered
time.
immigration.
Mr. Chair, will you let him know that when I asked
Time,
him
time does
took
belong
up
to
the
the
housing
gentlewoman
stock.
from California.
10 and 20 million immigrants
Can you
took
shut
up the
him up?
housing stock of working Americans. And can you maintain some level of dignity?
Gentleman's time has expired.
No, my time has not expired.
Your time has expired. And the
The
gentleman,
gentleman took up my time. I think you should recognize that, Mr. Chair.
the gentlewoman's
He took
time
up
has
my
expired. The gentlewoman's time has
Well,
expired.
if you
Mr.
wanna-
Chair, parliamentary
If you
inquiry.
wanna
Chair,
protect him,
the chair
Mr. Chair.
recognizes the vice chairman of the
Mr.
committee,
Chair.
Mr.
If you
Heisinger.
want to
Parliamentary inquiry.
go right ahead, but I would not expect you to do that.
The room is tense. Waters launches her attack, dragging up Bessent's old 2004 comments on tariffs, trying to trap him in some gotcha contradiction. Bessent doesn't even flinch. He shuts it down flat, no. She pushes, tries to manufacture cracks that aren't there. He counters with a knockout. The San Francisco Federal Reserve's 150 years of hard economic data proving tariffs do not cause inflation. Not opinion, not spin, empirical evidence. From one of the most respected institutions in the country. Waters scrambles, pivots to her rehearsed lines about coffee and bananas, trying to paint the administration as flip-flopping and hypocritical. Big mistake. Bessent calmly explains, strategic tariff adjustments aren't weakness, they're smart, outcome-based management. Fine-tuning policy when the data demands it. That's strength. That's flexibility. Waters is already wobbling. Then she overplays her hand, completely blames Trump's tariffs for the entire housing crisis. Bessent was waiting for it. He drops the hammer. Lumber prices are at a 5-year low. 5-year low. If tariffs were driving up construction costs and choking the housing market, how are lumber prices sitting at multi-year lows? Silence. Waters has nothing. Zero. Because facts don't lie. Her whole argument just imploded on live TV. But that was only the setup. The real moment, the one that'll get replayed for years, comes next. Waters keeps hammering on housing unaffordability, trying to pin it all on Trump. Bessent leans in and unleashes the truth bomb she never wanted out there. Between 10 and 20 million immigrants, let in under the previous administration, are now consuming the housing stock that was meant for working American families. That's not rhetoric. That's basic supply and demand. You cannot flood the country with millions of new people and then pretend to be shocked when housing gets scarce and prices go through the roof. It's the inconvenient truth Democrats won't touch with a 10-foot pole. Waters freezes. The chairman has to jump in because she literally can't respond. The room goes dead quiet. And in that silence, reality crushed ideology. Bessent didn't yell, didn't interrupt, didn't play games. He just brought cold, hard data, unflinching logic, and the kind of truth that cuts straight through the noise. That's why this moment hits so hard. When someone finally fights back with facts instead of feelings, the script flips fast, and the partisan narrative crumbles. If you're tired of scripted talking points and love seeing reality win the day, hit that like button, drop in the comments, was this the takedown of the year or what? And subscribe so you're locked in for every breakdown. We're just getting started. Catch you in the next one.